Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Hello students, welcome to Swayam Prabha channel 15. The course title is Human Resource Management and the lecture title is Emerging Issues and Challenges of HRM. This is module 16, lecture 2. I am Dr. Soma Sengupta, Associate Professor Commerce, Kamla Nehru College, University of Delhi. In this lecture, we will cover the following topics: HRM, Green HRM, Outsourcing HRM, Ethics in HRM, Surveillance versus Privacy. HRM or electronic HRM. This is becoming very popular nowadays because, as we have discussed, technology can be extensively used in carrying out all HR functions. So HRM is the integration of HR systems and activities using the web-based technologies. When HR uses the internet or related technologies to support their activities, procedures, processes, then it becomes an EHRM or electronic HRM. EHRM is the planning, implementation and application of information technology for both networking and supporting at least two individual or collective actors in their shared performing of HR activities. Now, through EHRM, the HR manager can get all the data compiled at one place and can make the analysis and decisions on the personnel effectively. So all the HR functions can be effectively performed as the data can be compiled and web-based technologies can be used for HRM purposes. EHRM is seen as offering the potential to improve services to HR department clients, both employees and management, improve efficiency and cost effectiveness within the HR department, allows HR to become a strategic partner in achieving organizational goals. Types of EHRM. There are three types of EHRM possible. Operational EHRM. It is concerned with the operational functions of HR such as payroll, employee personal data or any other matter related with HR functions. Relational EHRM. It is concerned with supporting business processes like training, recruitment, selection, etc. Transformational EHRM. It is concerned with HR strategies and its activities such as knowledge management, strategic orientation. So they provide a kind of a supporting activity for HRM. EHRM activities. First EHRM activity is e-recruitment. Using the internet as a medium, candidates could be hired from any part of the world. Uploading the recruitment information on the company's official website is possible. Online recruitment website services can be used like monster.com, naukri.com. E-selection is the next activity. That is project steps. It is not about selection of candidates or employees, but about the projects also or vendors also. So project steps, vendor selection, assessment steps, feedback to the candidates, all this can be done through EHRM. E-performance management, web-based technology to evaluate the performance of the individual. Complete working of an individual can be recorded. Writing the reviews and generating the feedback on the employee's performance using the web portal is possible. 360-degree appraisal is possible through EHRM. Another activity is e-learning, or even it is used for e-training also. Internet and intranet facilities for the training and development programs, getting the online modules of training, A large number of employees can be covered irrespective of their location. So from one location, you can actually cover the entire world to train them through e-learning packages. E-compensation, for that also EHRM is helpful. Online compensation management: gather, store, analyze and distribute the compensation data or information of anyone at any time. Advantages of EHRM: it is used for improving quality of services and ensuring efficient services, facilitating routine tasks like record keeping, maintaining the portfolio, collecting and storing information, saving of cost and time, improving accuracy and reducing human bias, making reporting and analyzing data quickly, ensuring standardization and automation, performing crucial functions like recruitment, selection, training and development, playing decisive roles towards a paperless office, maintaining anonymity of staff in evaluation and in giving feedback. Disadvantages of EHRM: so there are certain pitfalls also. It involves a high cost to maintain and implement EHRM. It is difficult to maintain the confidentiality of input data, and it is subjected to espionage, hacking or virus attack. Electronic media is vulnerable, as we have said, attacked by viruses from everywhere on the internet. EHRM is subject to corruption, hacking and data losses. It depends on efficiency of the employees also. Data entry errors may occur. Such errors can have grave consequences. Organizations need to invest more on training and development before adopting EHRM. Next topic is green HRM. Nowadays, organizations, government, and the public, everybody is considering that whatever activities we do, we minimally affect the environment negatively. Actually, we should do all those activities which will improve our environment and in no way pollute the environment. So in that effort, another new area is coming up, which is called green HRM. Now, the term green HRM is mostly used to refer to the contribution of HRM policies and practices towards the broader corporate environmental agenda. So, it can be used as a social responsibility tool also to maintain the environment. It refers to using every employee to support sustainable practices and increase employee awareness and commitments on the issue of sustainability. So here we are not only concerned with the present day environment or resources, but also we are thinking in terms of future. And sustainable practices will ensure that the benefits of environment will be enjoyed by coming generations also. So whatever natural resources and everything is there, that should not be depleted or polluted by the organizational activities. Now, green HRM involves undertaking environment-friendly HR initiatives resulting in greater efficiencies, lower costs, and better employee engagement and retention. Now, we are talking about employee engagement and retention also, because many of the employees are very environmental conscious. So, they would like to join those organizations which have sustainable practices. Now, it helps organizations to reduce employees' carbon footprints by electronic filing, car sharing, job sharing, teleconferencing, and virtual interviews, recycling, telecommuting, online training, energy efficient office spaces, and so on. So, all those practices which are environment friendly. Advantages of green HRM. Green HRM involves undertaking environment-friendly HR practices or initiatives resulting in greater efficiency, lower costs, and better employee engagement and retention that we have discussed in our previous slide. Helps organizations to reduce employee carbon footprints, as we have discussed all the practices like electronic filing, car sharing, job sharing. commuting and conferencing. All this promotes an energy efficient office spaces, or this promotes energy efficient ways. Promotes environment related issues also, stop pollution and all those campaigns, or say no to plastic bags, or recycling of waste. These are all practices which can be promoted by the organization. Trains employees and generates awareness about the environment. Also, they are entitled for rebates and tax benefits. There are other advantages of green HRM. It helps in implementing laws related to environmental protection, builds brand image, public image and reputation, facilitates conduct of environmental audit, that is environment friendly organizational culture, practices like waste management, low emissions, planting trees, paperless offices, utilization of natural resources more economically, and encouraging eco-friendly products, reduction in the environmental impact and environmental damages, improved competitiveness and increased overall performance. A few more advantages: increase business opportunities. Some government agencies, commercial businesses, and non-profit institutions mandate that only businesses that meet specific green standards can bid for the contracts. Some also mandate that the purchasing department only buy green products or use products and services sold by companies that meet certain green standards. Reduction of utility costs by using technologies that are energy efficient and less wasteful. Educated and affluent consumers look for companies that adopt environmental standards. Promotes innovation to produce greener products and green saving from waste elimination. Disadvantages of green HRM: large initial costs. Installing a new insulation to keep heat from escaping. So this is a good practice, but for that installation you need to spend a lot of money, but it will give benefit in future. Inadequate savings. The time of going green is to reduce environmental impact while saving money in the long run. But the savings generated by going green are often less than expected. So they do not make up the initial cost quickly enough to make them economically viable. So that is the problem. You have spent a lot of money on green equipment that it will give benefit in future, but that in future you find that the benefit is not as much as you have expected, or whatever you have spent on the installation cost. So that is again a deterrent. Increase capital outlays. Some green conversions require an initial capital outlay that decreases the firm's bottom line performance. This can decrease the earning or annual profits of a firm. So in all these three, we have found that costs will mount and savings may not be that high. Other disadvantages of green HRM are uneven competition. Unless green improvements are economically viable, it can put a business at a competitive disadvantage because other companies are not spending that much on green practices. So your company may lose out on that. A marginal impact. If everyone were to go green, it would be have a sufficient and noticeable impact. So if everybody is going green, then there will be impact. Individual going green, the impact will be marginal. So since not everyone can be convinced to go green, the impact remains marginal. So that is the problem. Employee apathy and reluctance. Many employees feel that it is not their responsibility to protect the environment while they are at work. So if you are not feeling from within that such a practice is important, then of course it can't be implemented. But the newly educated workforce is emphasizing on environmental management consciousness when they choose their employer. So this is also happening. This is a positive direction, that newer employees, they look for such organizations who have green practices. So these are the disadvantages of green HRM. Role of HR in implementing green HRM. So recruit and select people committed to the environment. Train and evaluate employees' performance based on environmental criteria. Implement ways of rewarding individual and collective environmental performance is remunerated and no remunerated. Stimulate continuous education in environmental management. Treat environmental aspects as value of corporate culture. Promote interaction between teams to deal with environmental problems, and to strive for continuous improvement of environmental management activities. Empowerment and participation of employees who are trained in activities of environmental management, and incentive programs such as profit sharing can be there. Team based approaches can be there. Skill improvements, open communication and management support for continuous improvement in operating activities of pollution reduction. And finally, measuring employee performance after being trained on environmental issues to check employee performance improvement on environmental management. So these are some of the practices which an organization can have in the direction of implementing green HRM. Outsourcing HRM. Now we know that organizations, they are nowadays outsourcing all the non-core areas for to the external service providers for a particular amount of charges. So that relieves an organization for performing those tasks in-house or devoting all their resources in such tasks which can be outsourced. So outsourcing of HR activities can also be done. It is simply obtaining work previously done by employees inside the company from sources outside the company. So this is the whole of outsourcing. A company may outsource a few or all of the HR related activities to a single or combination of service providers located anywhere in the world. Generally, those HR functions which are not critical and confidential are outsourced, like recruitment and selection, payroll and compensation management, staff training and development. HR outsourcing helps an organization to gain cost and time efficiencies and provide cutting edge over their human resource strategies and improve services to their employees. Need for outsourcing HRM. Now, it enables businesses to focus on core operations. So that is the basic idea behind any kind of business process outsourcing. So this is applicable here as well. Delivering cost savings. All direct cost and indirect cost can be saved through outsourcing. We have said now you don't have to keep a separate department and maintain it and create infrastructure for that, as well as pay the employees. So all these cuts can be there. Plus you will get specialized services from the outside. So that will further reduce your cost. So direct and indirect cost advantage will result. Helping to create a stable, cost-effective operating platform, transferring focus from internal processes to achievement of business goals or on core competencies, realizing investment in HR transformation and IT systems, ensuring compliance with legal, regulatory and best practices requirements, and transferring risk and liability for people issues. Types of outsourcing HRM. Application service provider, that is first one. They specialize in providing hardware and software applications for supporting human resource activities in an organization. They install, customize and provide support for running these applications. Now it is a costly affair, and the successful implementation of the application software is also doubtful. So these are companies which come out with HR solutions in the form of hardwares and softwares, and they help in not only installing that in the organization but also maintaining it in future. Next is business process outsourcing. This is a simpler one. Non-core HR functions are outsourced to specialized service providers. So business process outsourcing, as they operate in many countries and employ a large number of people, the client is in direct contact with them, with the employees through call centers. And this results in not only maintaining interaction but also in getting specialized services at reduced cost. Then the final one is total HR outsourcing. That is, the entire HR function is run by the service provider. The client organization only has senior HR professionals who are also HR strategists. So what are the HR services or functions which can be outsourced? So first one is hiring services, recruitment and selection. Then developmental services like experimenting with newer innovations in the area of management processes. Some organizations like academic institutions, professional manpower training institutes specialize in such functions or such information acquisition and structuring. So they can be very helpful in that. And presentation to prospective learners, all these functions can be performed by these institutions. Then third is performance management. Scope of outsourcing is limited to employee assessment here. Performance assessment uses tools and techniques that can be provided by the service provider, like the format of the performance appraisal system, weights given to different types of measurement. This will be generated by the outside service provider, but basic information will be given by the organization itself, because performance appraisal is a process whereby the supervisor and HR managers, they are analyzing the performance of the workers. So it is only those people who are in personal contact with the employee, they can only give the data regarding the performance of the employee. So that is about performance management. The other HR services which can be outsourced are compensation and benefit management, developing compensation formula, algorithms to write a software program that is administered repeatedly for calculating the compensation of all the employees. Reward and incentive management can be done by that. Organization is able to outsource reward management at group and in unit level, but not at the individual level, of course. Specialized consultancy services can be there, collects, processes, and sell such organizational process oriented information, helps in correcting mismatches in the organization. Management of employment relations for low level jobs, this is another area. There are lots of jobs that are required for its business but are not directly related to the organization, like the security, canteen. So these areas can always be outsourced by the organization, and it will result in cost saving. Benefits of outsourcing HRM, there are many benefits like risk reduction and transfer. That is one of the benefit. Now the service provider will take all the risk. Flexible solutions and cost reductions are possible. Access to broad skills and experiences, industry best practices. Enable in-house HR to focus on strategic matters. Remove non-operational distractions from the line. Remove pressure to recruit, manage, and motivate a diverse in-house HR team. Turn fixed costs into variable costs for the organization. Obtain expertise from outside, skills, technologies that would not otherwise be available within the organization, or you would have to spend a lot of money in that. But now these services can be hired from outside. Gain market access and business opportunities, expansion through the providers network, and finally customer satisfaction. All this is possible through outsourcing the HRM. Ethics in HRM, this is the next topic. Now an ethical behavior is the such which has honesty, integrity, and knows what is right, and distinguishes it from what is wrong. So that is ethical behavior, which will be not only beneficial for others, but it will improve your own behavior also. So ethics are important in HR practices as well, and a company which is ethically right will enjoy a goodwill in the market as well. So HR ethics means the application of moral values in HRM, like elimination of all kinds of discrimination, that can be one ethical value. No exploitations or favoritism, that can be another ethical value. The importance of HR ethics. Now it improves, as I said, goodwill, public image, improves the public image and labor relations, helps to attract and retain talented people, provides a competitive edge, and reduces legal actions. Now the issues which are generally creep in the organization related to ethics are discrimination of all sorts. Then sexual harassment is another area which is nowadays creating ruckus in various organizations, and that's why they have to be taken care of by the HR department. Big companies, they are investing in a lot. in avoiding such kind of sexual harassment or whatever grievances are there, they are taking strong actions against the errants or defaulters. Conflict of interest is another area, ethical area of HRM. Another area or important topic is surveillance versus privacy. Now, employee privacy has become a controversial issue in the field of human resource management, as employers have more technologies available to monitor not only their presence of the employees but also the telephone calls, computer terminals, and voicemail. So many of the employees, they resent such kind of surveillance which is put on them. The privacy issue has been fueled by the increased use of a variety of electronic monitoring system. Now, electronic monitoring system are also called as surveillance. Now, it is a computerized collection, storage, analysis, and reporting of information about employees' productive activities. Now, on one way, this is good for the organization. Suppose how will you know whether the customer care people, they are dealing well with the customers or not? Through electronic monitoring. But when it becomes a kind of a surveillance of all their personal details also, personal activities also, then the employees, they become resentful about such kind of surveillance system, because you are breaking their privacy. So employee monitoring violates the employee privacy rights. Types of employee monitoring can be, as we have discussed, computer monitoring, video surveillance, undercover operatives, spying, eavesdropping, and phone tapping. Now, these practices are there in the organizations to monitor the behavior of employees, but sometimes it becomes an invasion to the privacy of the employees of the organization. So advantages and disadvantages both are there of electronic monitoring and surveillance. What are the advantages? That is providing an unbiased method of performance evaluation. You are just observing and evaluating the performance, nothing wrong in it. Facilitates providing feedback to the employees, increase productivity and customer services, provides more flexibility in work location and work hours by allowing employees telecommute or use flex time system available from the employer. But there are certain disadvantages also of electronic monitoring or surveillance. These are intrusive and the potential for abuse. This exists in the organization. Difficult to ensure fairness in how the monitoring is implemented. Major contributor to employee psychological and physical health complaints. That is there. If you are constantly monitoring your employees, they may have a kind of a nervous breakdown. It violates the Privacy Act or legislation. So there are certain advantages of surveillance, but the privacy of individual matters a lot, and that has to be ensured in the organization. So students, what we have studied in this lecture: EHRM, which is an integration of all HR systems and activities using the web-based technologies; Green HRM, which involves undertaking environment-friendly HR initiatives, which results in greater efficiency, lower cost, and better employee engagement and retention. A company may outsource a few of or all of its HR related activities to a single or a combination of service providers who may be located anywhere in the world. HR ethics, it means the application of moral values in HRM, like elimination of all kind of discrimination, exploitation, and favoritism in the organization. Electronic monitoring or surveillance, it is the computerized collection, storage, analysis, and reporting of information about employees' productive activities. But employee monitoring violates the employee privacy rights, so that should be taken care of. Thank you, students. This was Emerging Issues and Challenges of HRM, Module 16, Lecture 2.